right. Welcome. Dajahao. Buenos dias. And Salamat Siang. Welcome to our webinar with me and my friend Ider here, how to expand your awareness of different cultures. We're really excited to share this. I think it's a really important skill to be learned. And yeah, I'll get started by introducing myself. My name is Ian. I'm from Portland, Oregon, United States, West Coast. I was born and raised here. And then for my undergrad, I went to Shanghai, NYU Shanghai. And I graduated in 2017, which is also the first graduating class of the school, which was pretty cool. And then I majored in integrated humanities, which is a blend of history, philosophy, and literature. And I got 2 minors, one in Mandarin and one in business. So this picture actually is from Portland, my hometown, with the gate to the Chinatown. And that's obviously NYU Shanghai. And then this picture here is actually my first meeting with I've been working for a company called Oxford Business Group after I graduated. And that's actually the picture from my first meeting. It was in Kuwait City, Kuwait. So yeah, up to you, man.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Ian, for the wonderful introduction, Mr. Worldwide. My name is Ider, and I was born and raised in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Here in this picture, I'm wearing a traditional Mongolian dress called Del. Right now, I'm studying economics and philosophy at Columbia University. I participated in like a summer program, like an online. It's similar to Global Talent Link. It was called Global Citizens Youth Summit at Harvard University. And I also participated in a few other programs before. And now I'm excited to be on the other end as sort of like a mentor. So excited for the webinar.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I love Columbia. It's a good choice, man. Good choice. Yeah. So one of the things I like, so I think, one of the first things I like to, sorry, I'm going to move this around because it gets in the way of the pictures. One of the things I like to do, one of the first things cool things that I did to, expand my awareness on culture from the start was, in high school. I did, 2 summers. My summer of my sophomore year, on the left here, I went to Ecuador. And then on the right, I went to, that's in the Dominican Republic. And so, I mean, I really highly recommend doing something like this because it's a great way to see another country, great way to see another culture. And you meet, look at these people. All these guys are so cool. These are all Americans too. And, it really, you get to see like-minded people outside of your high school and your hometown, it was really cool. And, I was like one of the only guys who did, other people who did 1 summer, but I did 2. And I would do every summer. It's the best. And yo quiero que decir ustedes un cuento. I want to tell you a little story of when I was in the Dominican Republic. So this picture here, we were climbing a mountain, and I was actually one of the few who could speak Spanish pretty well. And I remember just going into this house, kind of behind there, similar. Met this old woman who, she was very sick. We had to climb walk a lot up this mountain, and I'm sure she was probably there. I don't know what happened, but she was very sick. She couldn't walk, but I just was talking to her. I was just having a conversation, and it was very powerful. And I'll never forget that. When you're talking with an elderly woman from some really remote place, you can learn a lot. So yeah.
I see. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
It's
You
cool.
know, one thing about Ian is he went to like 60 countries, right?
Yeah,
And
it's I'm counting, man, but I got yeah, it's a lot more to go, but yeah, that's how I see it.
on the slide here, we actually, oh, there's someone over here.
Oh, cool.
I'll let him in.
Awesome.
Um,
Wait,
we have Aaron here.
hey, Aaron.
Welcome, Aaron. So we just started our webinar talking about cultural awareness. So on the slide here, we actually have a real life picture of all of Ian's passports. He's a traveling man. Well, but anyways, um, so I think it's great that you went to other countries like that, and you know, it's such a great opportunity to travel, and you know, it's a thing that's uh, kind of being forgotten. You know, uh, right now, a lot of us are just at home, cooped up, and the most we travel is probably to the store or something. You know, and that's the reality for a lot of people, especially children. And it's so easy to get lost in like the cycle of Zoom, Instagram, you know, just going over and over again, day in and day out. So, um, you know, we really want to talk about the importance of getting out of that and realizing that although, you know, things are tough right now in terms of travel, that doesn't mean, you know, it's any less valuable. And we're missing out a lot on the cultural exchange, cultural awareness, and a lot of the education that comes with traveling to somewhere else. You know, um,
So
here we have a picture of all the passports in the world, and in the middle, it's like this artwork called a Universal Citizen's Passport, and I think it's a great idea because you know it's true. We are all citizens of the universe. You know, that's our birthright. Even though we are citizens of, you know, either Mongolia or the United States, uh, that doesn't mean we're not citizens of the universe uh, the same. And it's important to recognize our place in our communities, in our worlds, but also our universe, and to, you know, remind ourselves during this time of isolation and just, you know, a kind of a cyclical loop, that the world is so much bigger. There's a huge world out there. Not just the world, there's a huge universe out there.
yeah,
And we need to keep that in mind because, you know, sometimes I find myself forgetting, right? I just find myself existing at home in like my little city, and that's just my life. But uh, that's such a limited view of life and existence in general. And, you know, once, you know, things stop being so crazy in the world, um, you know, we all need to travel someplace, somewhere.
I well said, man. Like I couldn't have. I totally agree with the universal passport. Like, yeah, like like I love, you know, collect. It's so cool to like, you know, see your passport and collect your stamps, you know. But you're right. Like it's good to think also of the bigger picture here. Um, we're all our own citizenship, and but at the same time, we all have this bigger passport, I think, too. Perfect. So next, I want to talk about college sports and clubs. So uh, I think one of the best things to also expand awareness on, culture is to like play sports and or join clubs. One of the things that, actually before I went to NYU Shanghai, I was applying to other schools in the United States. And I mean, some of the very established schools like I applied to like UCLA, I'm sure Columbia as well. Like there's hundreds of clubs, hundreds of activities you can do, from basketball to, like, I remember learning about like Quidditch, like Harry Potter Quidditch, like all this kind of stuff. Like it's really fun. And, so it was kind of fun for me as well. In Shanghai, we got to start we got to start all that. Our school is new. And so this picture here is very special to me. If you can see, actually, this building here behind the stadium, like has like the orange line on it. I believe that was my dorm. I'm not gonna, don't quote me on that, but they remodeled the building. But so this is my sophomore year dorm here, and you see, bottom left here, you have soccer fields. Behind the stadium, you have basketball courts. The Shanghai Sharks play here. This is where like the World Cup team, I believe, played. And our campus is a 10-minute walk away. Just like, 完全体育馆有一个特别是很特别的地方. It's a very special place. And yeah, so sports. And actually, on the left here is me. I was on the basketball team, and we played my sophomore year against Yale University, Singapore, Yale NUS. And we got like, it was one of the best memories of my life. Like we had like, 1,000 people there, teachers, all like at this game. And I mean, it was awesome, man. It was so cool. So highly recommend sports and clubs for sure.
That's great, man. You're a superstar.
I'm just trying to be like Damian Lillard on the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah. So for our audience, on the picture before, that's actually Ian hitting the game-winning buzzer shot.
It was a close game. We lost by 2, man. Like, so another time. I think next time that'll be me. Yeah, making the shot.
Yeah. All right. So, sports, physical education, right? That's as much of an education as math or English. And, in our education system today, physical education is just PE, right? It's just you run some laps or something. And, it's kind of stupid because you don't really put importance or attention on your own body and, learning what you can with your body. The human body is amazing. People do crazy things. And, because we're not really taught that in a formal setting or really, allowed to place importance on physical education, we have a sick population, to be honest. Many people are sick. So many people are fat and they're just weak.
True.
They can't run. They can't, I mean, this is not me, dissing everybody, but it's true. People aren't physically educated to the point that we should be. Here we see a picture from Pink Floyd, the music video for Just Another Brick in the Wall. Oh, I mean, yeah.
I think I've seen it. It's good. Yeah.
It's a great song. In the music video, you see all these kids on a conveyor belt. And, this is just a symbol for the education system today. We're products. We're standardized products who give standardized tests, who get scored like qualification numbers, statistics, everything, and basically sold to the labor force. And that's what's going on today. And of course, there are good and bad things to everything, but the way things are right now, it can be so much better. You know, we really have to understand the education system and see how it is right now. You know, the reason why we're talking about cultural awareness and, you know, traveling to other countries, you know, learning about different cultures and everything, that's not really in like a standard high school public education, you know? I don't think so. You know, at least for me, I never learned about the Dominican Republic or, you know, how America is or all of that. All I learned was basically math, English, um, science, you know, things like that. We don't learn about the world. And that's such a shame. We don't learn about the physical body, how it works, what we can do with it. So we need to evaluate it, see what's wrong with it, see what's right with it, and, you know, make it better for the future generations. Because, um, you know, I don't want to put my kids through what I've been through. And I'm speaking from a place of privilege. I went to a private school, and, you know, uh, it was pretty good, but at the same time, it could be so much better. So we really need to idealize the education system and think of how what it could be like, right? You know, think of what's possible instead of just accepting how it is right now. Things could be so much better. And one of the most important things is, you know, as Ian said, sports. It's so important. You know, Bruce Lee, the great martial artist, once said, um, all knowledge is self knowledge. And if you know yourself, you know everything, basically. And, you know, you can't just know yourself by reading books and doing tests or something like that. You know yourself by really going out there, you know, doing something with your body, trying to trying to win a game, you know, compete, things
Yeah,
like that. That's
competition.
how you know yourself.
Yeah, friendly competition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I want to actually just exemplify what Ider is saying. Um, you know, and I want to say something like uh, I I was just, you know, the other day I was just looking at, you know, practice AP exams for economics, for example, because I, you know, I worked Oxford Business Group. You know, I had to study a lot of, you know, economics and business things, and I was looking at this AP exam study guide, and a lot of these terms, I I was like, what is a personal possibilities frontier? Like in my work experience, I've never seen this term. I have never uh, I've never heard a CEO say that term. And like I actually started getting sad when I was looking at this
Mm.
AP economics study guide because wait a minute, like I've I've you know, I've interviewed uh, some government officials and you know the central bank governor of Oman, and but at the same time, why am I getting depressed? You know, reading you know, a AP econ thing. So it goes to show you that you know there's more out there. There's more out there, and I also want to say that you know there's a lot of good things about education system. Like I went to a public high school. uh, some of my professors were awesome. Like I'll never forget like my AP history teacher. You know, she was the smartest woman I've ever met. Like there's so many good things about education system, but yes, there are a lot of things that could be better for sure. Um, and then next, I want to talk about like outdoor groups. So, like another good way to do this as well. Like I know right now during COVID-19, it can be kind of hard for sure. But oh, sorry. I want to just get this screen thing out of the way. Anyway, so yeah, it can be kind of hard to do outdoor groups, but you know, especially in a city where you don't know many people, is a great way to you know meet someone new. This picture on the right here, like I got connected to. These are both in Riyadh, so when I was you know working there, and you know I had a family friend who knew someone, and then they put me in touch with this you know group, and it was great. Like, I got to like, explore a lot and meet new people. And then this is like from a hiking club as well. So yeah, it's a great way to meet people. And now I want to say the same thing, like in Portland as well. Um, Even though I'm home here in Portland, I've done the same thing. I've joined a meetup group and a Mandarin Chinese speaking group, and I've done the same, and it's been great. So you can do it anywhere. You can really do it anywhere. So yeah.
I see. Yeah, I miss groups like that. I miss like hiking and going out into nature. I feel
Totally,
like
man.
people are really feeling that pressure to go outside, right?
People make you go outside. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be great when everybody does in the near future. Well,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, so here's a quote by a Zen monk from Japan. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. So, I wanted to include this quote because this is such a great thing to remind ourselves with when we're thinking about education. Just because I got like a 1600 on my SATs or something, I mean, I didn't do that, doesn't mean, I know everything, and you can be, so many people are illusioned by that. you know you get a good grade on the test, you go to a good school or something, and you feel like you know everything. And that happens to the best of us. And we always have to remind ourselves that we know nothing. I think it was Socrates who once said that um, true knowledge is knowing that you know nothing.
Wow. I'll have to think about that for a sec.
It's true. The more we learn about the world, the more we realize how much we don't know. And we always have to remind ourselves that to not be cocky, to not know, to not think, I basically know about this, right? I basically know what's going on with this political situation or something, right? Oh, I read the news, so I know what's going on with COVID, right? You can't do that. It, because one, your perspective is extremely limited, especially if you know only one language or two. And two, people lie. People are lying all the time. And just because you think you know something doesn't mean it's true. And it takes a lot of effort and, care to find the truth. And adopting a beginner's mind. This is an idea from Zen Buddhism. To see every day as if you're a child, right? You wake up, you're like a little baby, you don't know anything, and you're just exploring the world. You don't know anything, right? And that's a mindset that we all should have, especially when it comes to other cultures, because there are so many stereotypes everywhere, and uh, stereotypes happen for a reason. But at the same time, you just can't think of America as um, I don't know. I don't know all of the stereotypes about America. How about like China, right? Or Africa, or
Oh yeah.
Russia, everything. You think about Mongolia, and people get a certain uh they have like a box, right? Okay, this is Mongolia. I expect Mongolians to be like this. And then uh they put you in the box, and they don't really try to think that people could be different, and that applies to everybody everywhere. And the only way that you can break out of this box and break the illusion is for you to go there yourself and for you to talk to these people yourself. Yeah.
I totally agree, and especially what you said there at the end, like, that's what I think that's what I've tried to do as much as I can so far in my life. And yeah, I've been quite lucky to see a lot of different cultures and hear perspectives. Actually, in the later slides too, I'm gonna have a good example for you guys on this kind of, this box. I think it'll be a good example for you guys. But I totally agree with what Ider is saying. Like, you have to go there yourself. Like, you don't know until you go. And actually, that's a lot of my friends. I keep telling my friends, in the States, like, go to Asia. Just go to Asia. Just go. Like, it'll blow your mind. Like, you know what I mean? It's you just go. So actually, yeah, like, this is the thing. Actually, this one will be some fun facts for you guys. There, this better for like this. So let's see here. Di negara banyak saya suka jalan-jalan. This is in Jakarta. These two pictures are both in Jakarta, which is one of my favorite cities, and Jakarta, Indonesia. So the topic here is explore cultural attractions. Actually, is a perfect segue into this from what what he said last, because that's what you do when you're in a city, a big city or a small, anywhere that you don't know, is you go explore, and it's okay to do it on your own as well. Actually, that's what happened to me. I was in a lot of cities where I didn't know anyone, and you go out on your own, and you become stronger that way. And so actually, one of the first things I did in Jakarta was, I heard, fun fact, I don't know if everyone knows this, but President Barack Obama, he spent a couple years of his adolescence or his childhood in Jakarta. This is his, on the left here is his statue in the Menteng neighborhood in central Jakarta, and a statue of Barack Obama when he was there. So pretty cool. And then the middle here is in the north part of Jakarta, called Glodok. It's like where the port region is, and it's pretty interesting, right? You can see the Dutch colonial architecture there too. And I wanted to also share a little story that happened to me. Like, when you go out exploring on your own, like, a lot can happen. A lot of random, fun stuff can happen. And like this here, actually, I was in this part of this square here, right? And some kids, some teenage high school students maybe came up to me, and like, we started talking. They were practicing their English with me, and they just gave me their art project. Just, look how like, who does that? Like, just gives you their art project. Just, here you go. Like, I mean, I'll always have this. It's cool, like, it's awesome. And that's why it's so friendly. And it can be overwhelming too. I mean, I had a lot of people, when you look like you're a foreigner, sometimes in a place that doesn't look, not used to it, it can be a little overwhelming. But a lot of people come up to you. Maybe it's kind of what Shanghai was maybe 20, 30 years ago on the Bund, where people, basically, if you're a foreigner, you get a lot of pictures taken of you. But maybe in parts of rural China it's like that. But it was really, really interesting being in a city like Jakarta, a huge city, and you just go a little bit north, and it takes you into a whole different realm. So, and then finally on the right here is what I like to do is, this is a screenshot of one of my maps. I just, you put points on your map, do a little research, points on your map, and then I personally, I just walk, man. I just walk. I didn't take a cab. I was there for like 30 hours, like, I didn't have a lot of time, but I just walked. Like, and it's good exercise. It's it's and you just see, you just feel like what it's like to be there. I mean, always, if you're in time constraint, take a taxi, of course. But if you can, I always encourage to soak it all in, man. I like this.
That's great. Yeah.
I like this video.
So, um,
I love that. That's great.
he definitely got an A.
Yeah, for sure. Oops, sorry.
Okay,
Keep
so
doing that.
appreciating the beauty of learning. It's a beautiful thing to learn. Um, just think of where we are right now as a species. We're so advanced. To be honest with you, we're so advanced. Um, I read this funny tweet before. Um, are you saying that? Are you telling me that uh, all we had was some rocks and some water, and then we made the internet out of that?
Wow.
And it's true.
I guess it's
we
true.
didn't have anything. we just had like
Wow.
rocks. But look at where we are right now, and that's an extreme a privilege and luck and just a blessing. The Buddhists say that um, reincarnating as a human is as rare as um, balancing one piece of rice on a needle.
Is that actually, they say that?
Yeah. and it's true. There are so many other animals out there in the world and in the universe, and to be a human at this point in time where we have food, basically, we have the internet, and we don't have to worry about like getting eaten by another animal or anything. That's an extreme privilege, and it's an amazing opportunity to learn. A lot of us use the internet for just mindless bullshit, you know and we waste so much of our time on kind of junk food, right? Junk media, you can say. But you have to realize that you can use the internet to learn so much. Even though Ian in here, because he's learned so much, he's telling us, oh, Obama's in Jakarta, right? You can know that. You can know that without going there and seeing the statue yourself.
You can.
And
that's true. That's a good point. Very good
you
point.
know, and you can know, I mean, you can't know everything, but you can you can know so much. You just using the internet, just using books, just using just the amount of diversity that most cities have nowadays, and just the ability to buy a plane ticket and it brings you to somewhere like on the other side of the earth. That's crazy.
It is.
And you have to realize how beautiful that is, and you have to appreciate it, because it's so possible for you to get a job, do your job, get home, like watch mindless entertainment, and then die. you know there's no obligation for you to travel. There's no obligation for you to explore other cultures or anything. But once you do it, you'll realize how great it is, and how capable you are of doing that.
And at the same time, if you want to also, stay put and, be and not travel, that's totally cool too. Like, also, I guess, but yeah, totally. It's, I mean, it's only 12 or 14 hours of your life to, get over to a different continent. It might feel long in the moment, but yeah,
True.
it's it's not that bad. Yeah, I recommend. But yeah, and then finally, yeah, this is like one of the most important things, oh my gosh, sorry, is
Save the best for last.
food. Yeah, food. This is a very important one. Obviously we have like, cheeseburgers and stuff, but like this, other stuff too. Like a funny story actually from that picture I had before that first meeting. Like my first day in the Middle East, and it's me and the two people training me, and then the CEO we were interviewing, and I can't move this. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Let's leave it. And he's like, oh, so how do you like Kuwait? How do you like the Middle East so far? And I'm like, oh, it's great. Like I've been experiencing the local cuisine. I've had some biryani, and everyone like looked at me like I was nuts. Like, and then everyone started laughing. Like I thought biryani, I had this thing called biryani the night before. I thought it was like from the Middle East. It's not. It's from like, I think it's from India, Pakistan area, so it's similar to kapsa, kind of rice and meat, chicken, but it, so like, I'll never forget that. Like, I was just like, wow. So that's how you find out stuff. And then this picture here, this thing's in the way, but if you can kind of see it on the top, this white stuff here, it's based in Africa, and there's two different names for it. You have it's like instead of think of like rice as a starch, it's like a corn-based flour. I think you can make it with I'm not sure how they make it, but it's like a starch. Basically, it's like a side for hearty meals. There's some vegetables and meats there. And so actually what I also learned is in countries like Malawi and Zambia, they're different names. Like it's called sima in more southern areas, and then Kenya, Tanzania, it's ugali. Things you just kind of know when you experience it, or like Ider said, you can always find this out yourself. But I found it when I, experienced it. So, and finally, obviously, one of my personal favorites, I had it for dinner last night, jiaozi, dumplings. 非常喜欢. I love dumplings. I can eat them forever. So yeah, and actually, I wanted to also make note of one of the most influential people in my life. I would say is Anthony Bourdain. Rest in peace. I don't know if anyone knows he's a chef by trade, writer, traveled the world. He's a big part of my life. I look up to him a lot, and he always said food was a way to experience it. Food is culture. Food, when you sit down with someone, you share a meal together. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So we all need to eat, and it's so cool, like seeing how different countries do it. Actually, like a lot of people still eat with their hands. What is these forks and knives? It's crazy. Like I think in like Indonesia, Philippines, they use silverware, they have chopsticks, and every country is different. So it's really cool to like see, we don't have to eat with a fork and a knife if you don't want to. Okay. So, yeah. And, like, we're going to basically wrap it up here, but okay, this is crazy. Thank you. Yeah. I just want to say thank you for being with us. And I wanted to, I'm gonna let Ider say something as well. I just want to say like Jiao, like, in Chinese, fill your oil. Just fill your oil, keep going. Like the world's different now. But we'll all get back to that place, man. And I think we can all do this together. And like two things that I put, the reason why I chose these pictures, I think one of the best takeaways of this, like if you want to learn language quickly, I would download Duolingo. It's free. They have like 37 languages there, and I use it. It's great. And then I put this book here, Siddhartha, because it's one of my favorite books, and it was actually in my high school curriculum in Lake Oswego in Oregon. Things like that are right under our noses, and you just gotta find it. And like, you know, yeah, like that's, things are all around you and you just got to seize it. It's there. So yeah, go ahead. You want any last things either?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ian, for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you too, man.
I couldn't ask for a better partner for this webinar.
Me either, man.
You know, we talk a lot. I mean, we could keep talking and talking, but you know, we love this, and you know, it's just talking about culture and just the world that we are living in. It's so beautiful and it's so enriching. You always learn something new from someone else, and it doesn't stop. You know, you can never reach a point where you're like, okay, you know, I know everything. Right? There's no point like that at all. So that's the beauty of it. You know, it never ends, and there's always something new, and it's always changing. So I'm just glad to be alive, glad to be able to learn all these things and have a good time. I wish everybody who's watching the best. And yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys. And yeah, I'll leave you with this. And yeah, all the best to you.